Cycle Talk TV is brought to you by Ducati, Kawasaki, KTM, Harley-Davidson, On Two Wheels Motorsports, Polaris, Triumph and Victory. On this episode of Cycle Talk TV, we test Ducati's Monster 659. We throw a leg over Yamaha's MT-07 and we jump into the Arctic Cat Wildcat. We also go touring in Italy, we check out extreme blasting, and there's even some products.
The Ducati Monster 659. Now this bike was built specifically by Ducati for the Australian learner legal market. It's the smallest monster you can buy in Australia. It still uses the same sort of 2-valve, old school, air-cooled architecture. 43mm upside down non-adjustable forks. Sack shock on the rear, which is adjustable for preload and rebound damping only. 17-inch front wheel, 17-inch rear wheel. It's designed to be a great entry-level machine for someone who wants to really experience the Ducati culture. The bike, generally speaking, is very easy to ride. It sort of reminds me, and I'm not your average learner legal or learner rider, let's face it, but this does remind me of the 600 Pantar I used to ride many years ago, probably 30 years ago now. It has an old school lumpy feel to it, and I really like that. Now, the basis for this bike was pretty easy for Ducati to use, really. It was the 696 Monster. They look identical. The engine is just a little bit less in capacity, and the throttle is restricted, so you can't get the full throttle, or it doesn't have full power as such. The engine these days with Ducatis, I go back to the days when I was riding bevel drive Ducatis, and they weren't really that reliable, but these things have been ultra reliable. The belt drive engines have been a hallmark of Ducati's Monster range for so many years, and they've got it absolutely nailed. The things last forever. Service intervals are quite long for the desmodromic valve clearances, and realistically, you buy a bike like this and you expect it to be reliable, and it is. So what's it like to ride? Well, it's a smallish bike, but the riding position, the seat to foot peg height is very comfortable. Like a lot of Monsters, the handlebars are probably a little bit too low for my liking. You know, maybe an inch higher, but that's easy enough to change. And that's just a personal trait, really. Now, it starts easy. Funnily enough, being fuel injected, it's still got a choke, which it likes, you know, in cold weather. Along the back roads and so on, the engine is just absolutely beautiful. You know, you sit on 100 k's an hour. Now, I know it's a learner legal bike, but this is the sort of bike anyone can ride and be pretty much happy with it. You know, you don't have to just keep it until your learner's permit's up or your provisional and just turf it. No, you can happily live with this bike. The suspension, even though there's not a real lot of adjustment, a little bit in the rear, just seems to soak up the bumps. The bike tips in beautifully, like it really holds its line very nicely. The brakes are superb, the big Brembo brakes on the front. It's just a hell of a lot of fun. Down low and mid-range is great. Like a lot of learner legal bikes, there's so much to like about this bike. I think for me, the only thing I would do to it is maybe put those high handlebars on it, change to one of those retro paint kits, and a set of mufflers. I've really, really enjoyed my time on this bike. It's one of the best learner bikes I've ever ridden. If you want a bit of a sporty European, there's not a lot to choose from, and this should be on your shopping list. It's $12,990. It's got the usual 2-year unlimited kilometre warranty, and it's the sort of bike really that is going to appeal to a lot of different people. Well, I think when you get the learner legal market, you've got a variety of different people, you know, that are looking for something. This is a bike, I can imagine a guy or a lady in a two-piece race suit swanning around on it, having the time of their life. And I can imagine a hipster dude or hipster lady with a flannelette shirt, sneakers, open-face helmet, enjoying it around town as well. It's got something to appeal to a lot of people, and this is a pretty big seller for Ducati, and I understand why.
The Ducati 659 is priced at $12,990 plus dealer and government charges. It's fully learner legal right around the country, and you can get a lot more information from your Ducati dealer or ducati.com.au. Read all about the KTM RC390 in the November issue of Cycle Talk magazine, out now. Also on the cover is the 2015 Yamaha YZ450 and 250F. You can read the November issue in print from better bike shops across Australia, on your computer or Android device through cycletalk.com.au in our PDF edition. But the best way to enjoy Cycle Talk is on an iPad or an iPhone, which is everything in the print edition plus embedded videos, slideshows and lots more pictures. And it's all free. Download the app from the App Store and then subscribe free and download back issues too. All of Cycle Talk's editions, electronic and print, are free. Check out more information on Cycle Talk on our website, cycletalk.com.au, and on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Back in the 1970s, a lot of people were having a lot of fun on dirt bikes, but some innovative soul decided that three wheels might be better than two, and the ATV, or all-terrain vehicle, was built. Now it turned out that three wheels was pretty dangerous, so they grew another wheel and became quad bikes. Quad bikes became really popular and very, very capable, but people still wanted more, including things like carrying a passenger. So now we've got the side-by-side, ATV in inspiration, and motor car in a lot of ways with steering wheels. Now these ones that we like at Cycle Talk TV are the real sports ones. And today we're having a look at the Wildcat from Arctic Cat. I've just had a drive of the new Arctic Cat Wildcat. Wow, what a blast. First time I've driven a side-by-side that's got any sort of sporting ability. Had it jumping the first time I've driven one. Still a bit buzzed. A lot of fun, very exciting on the track here at the Explore Australia show. And just a really different experience. I mean, these things sort of maybe grew out of quads and buggies, but they are a lot of fun. Very different to use than an ATV or a quad, but still great fun. And if you ever get a chance to have a drive of one, jump in and give it the berries. 951cc, 4-stroke, twin cylinder, 4 valves, fuel injection. This gives this Arctic Cat a lot of horsepower, which makes it go really, really hard. The technology's there in the transmission too, with a CVT automatic, so you don't have to worry about bouncing through the gears as you're bouncing through the bush. One of the big secrets of the sporty, more capable side-by-side vehicles is their really long travel suspension. These machines, including this Arctic Cat, can really hammer through the bush and hammer over the big jumps because they've got long travel suspension with quality wheels and tyres, quality suspension, so they work really, really well. The suspension on the Arctic Cat's adjustable for compression and preload, so you can set it up the way you want as well. Although primarily aimed at sport and having a lot of fun, the Arctic Cat Wildcat does have a few practical touches. There's some carrying capacity in the back of the vehicle, and you can also use it to take you fishing, hunting, shooting, getting into the bush, and you can even use it for mustering some cattle. So you can, if you've got the use for it in the bush, you can use it during the week for practical purposes, and then on weekends get out and give it some stick. The Arctic Cat Wildcat range starts at $16,990. The models tested on this video from $19,990. Check them out at your Arctic Cat dealer and arcticcataustralia.com.au.
Everyone puts their pants on one leg at a time. What separates some of us, though, is what we throw a leg over after our pants are on. The new Harley-Davidson Breakout motorcycle. Breakout.
Now, I've just arrived in Milan, northern Italy. It's the home of great food, it's the home of high fashion, and it's also the home of some great religious monuments, architectural monuments like the Duomo in the background. Now, before I left, I decided on hiring motorcycles and just trekking around at random. I wasn't sure which company to go with. There are a lot of choices came up on Google, and that was the only guide I had, Google. It can be pretty hard to make these decisions, but I settled on a company called HP Motorrad. They've got a great selection of bikes, pretty flexible in terms of drop-off. They seem like a decent company, so I'm going to head over across town now, pick up the first bike, and see how it all turns out.
You can imagine after travelling halfway around the world and relying on just a few emails, I was feeling a little bit anxious. But after seeing the HP Motorrad store and meeting the boss, Matteo, I felt much better, and he knew exactly what I was looking for.
Australians are so fans of Ducati. We have all the range of Ducati, starting from the Monster to the Hyperstrada to the Multistrada, and the Diavel, for example, which is one of the best brands in Italy and all over the world. So you can come here and ride your Ducati and have your fun.
And it's not just Ducati. There's Moto Guzzi, Bimota, and a huge range of BMWs set up for sports or touring. Now, if you're travelling light, you can even hire all your riding gear and accessories. They've really got everything covered. The first up for me was a 2012 Ducati Monster, and it was fitted with all the good gear. Now check out the luggage racks. They're Hepco and Becker soft panniers. They're lockable to the bike and they fit loads of gear. GPS is an absolute essential in Italy. It's not only for directions, but it also takes some of the stress out of learning to ride on the right-hand side of the road. If you haven't done it before, don't worry about it. It'll take you about a day to get used to, but it will keep you on your toes. I think it's only fair that the mechanics get a shout out as well, because every bike I rode was prepared spot on. Now, if you hire a motorcycle in Italy, it is pretty much choose your own adventure, and there are miles of coastal roads to explore. But for me, I was looking for the Stelvio Pass. Between the coast and Milan, there are so many little towns, winding roads, coffee shops. It's unbelievably good riding. There are bikes everywhere and you'll see everything, even Marc Marquez replica scooters. But now it was time to head back and pick up the next big beamer.
All our bikes are equipped with at least side cases, and in 99% of the cases, all our bikes have 3 cases, so big luggage to bring your stuff and to have a nice ride all over Italy. And as you can see, this is a nice Ducati with side cases. This is a 1200 GS, the new model, liquid cool with 3 cases, so you can bring whatever you want and you can have a safe ride all over Italy. Over here we have the top class of the bike of BMW. It's K1600 GTL. As you can see, 3 cases on over there.
Now, it's also worth mentioning that you can store all your excess baggage at HP Motorrad. Very handy, good peace of mind. Now it's time to take the big beamer up to Lake Como, and without doubt, these are some of the most beautiful roads in the world. But it's not all about the bikes. The people are so friendly and obliging, it really does make the trip. And there is always something to see and do. There's concerts, there's the Formula 1 at Monza, and the endless stream of fantastic food. Now, if you need to make up time in your journey, the Autostrada is usually pretty handy. But like all freeways, they're flat, they're straight, and they're boring, they're to be avoided. And in Italy, they are also really expensive. Make sure you've got your credit card handy and always look for the correct lane so you can pay. big Beamer sounds more like a Porsche, and it's a lot of fun even on the back roads. One thing to remember though, even though it's easy to get fuel on the freeways, sometimes you may have to plan a little more carefully when you're going through the small towns. Your credit cards will be accepted almost everywhere, but it's a good idea to carry some cash for the automated petrol machines. Best time of year to fly is between April and October. It doesn't matter where you fly into because HP Motorrad have depots all around Italy. And the best part about this way of travel is that you get to choose what you do every day. The process is simple and there's a huge range of late model bikes. I've got to really say a big thank you to HP Motorrad for one unforgettable trip.
HP Motorrad has lots and lots of bikes from €80 per day. You can get a lot more information from motorbikerentitaly.com. When Yamaha announced there was going to be a mid-capacity MT-07, we were very excited, until we realised that as it wouldn't fit into the learner-approved motorcycle scheme, we'd probably never see it in Australia. However, Yamaha Australia went to the Japanese factory and got them to build one just for us. Cycle Talk went to the launch. A mid-capacity parallel twin, 270-degree cross-plane crankshaft, which means it feels more like a V-twin really to ride, but it's actually very, very smooth. Very flickable, very light, very easy to ride, and lots of torque. Yamaha is pitching this bike as something for learners or for the experienced rider. And while we were out on the launch, we did everything from commuting, which is a pretty basic thing, to watching Dave McKenna doing some amazing stunts in the wet. Now check out some of this footage. The guy is incredible, and the fact that he was doing this injured and in the rain just makes it even more amazing and really shows the capabilities of this machine. Now this is an Australian spec bike. It's not the same as the international ones because in international models, this one's, the capacity is too high. It's about 683cc, so it can't be learner approved. The Yamaha Australia have got this one made in Japan at 655cc to get it under the learner approved motorcycle scheme. Unlike many learner approved machines, the Yamaha MT-07 doesn't really feel like it's been built down to a price, but more up to a quality level. From the comprehensive digital instruments to the wave discs to the LED tail lights, there's a lot of things about the Yamaha MT-07 that reek of quality rather than the bike being built to a price. Unsurprisingly, the suspension doesn't have a lot of adjustment available. However, it does work quite well. The brakes are very good. However, disappointingly, there's no ABS available. Yamaha is offering a range of accessories for the MT-07, including touring bags and a rack, shown here. Yamaha's advertising them at just under $10,000 right away price. That makes the MT-07 great value. It's a very versatile machine, suitable for riders of all abilities, and everyone will have a lot of fun. Check them out at your Yamaha dealer. The Yamaha MT-07 is available in 4 colours: deep armour, competition white, matte grey, racing red. It's $9,999 right away, and there's a lot more information at yamahamotor.com.au.
Everyone puts their pants on one leg at a time. What separates some of us, though, is what we throw a leg over after our pants are on. The new Harley-Davidson Breakout motorcycle. Breakout.
Fearless innovation starts with an attitude. While others claim to be ahead of the curve, we're already leaning into the next one. We're about setting the precedent year after year and letting the rest play catch up. They ride to keep up with today. We ride to own tomorrow.
The lowrider is back and rides even lower.
Come down to On Two Wheels Motorsports, Sydney's best motorcycle shop and a proud sponsor of Cycle Talk TV, with a huge range of new Yamaha and Kawasaki motorcycles and ATVs, as well as a huge range of spares and all the accessories you're likely to need. On Two Wheels can help get you into the right bike at the right price with the right accessories and the right advice. On Two Wheels Motorsports, 304 Queen Street, Campbelltown. Find us online on social media or call us on 024625 7518.
Ladies like to look good and feel safe on a bike. The best place to start is a motorcycle jacket built especially for a women's shape. Moto Dry make these excellent motorcycle jackets, and this one's the Venus. Okay, these stunning airflow textile jackets have a removable waterproof liner. They have Scotch-Lite night safety piping, and they have genuine YKK zippers, and they come in great designs. These great jackets have armour in the shoulders, in the elbows and in the back as well for your safety. There's plenty of adjustable zips on the jacket. You've got some on the arms and on your hips as well. Taylor's wearing the black and white one. I've got the platinum, silver and black one on, and they come from a range of sizes from 8 to size 26. They're just $199.95. They're a great affordable summer jacket.
The Moto Drive Venus jacket is available from motorcycle dealers right around the country. Fully ventilated and with a waterproof removable liner, these are perfect for the summer. More information from motonational.com.au.
If you're into classic bikes, there's a fair chance you're into restoring them too. Let's face it, they don't stay immaculate forever. And restorations can be pretty involved. Besides the mechanical repairs, there's always the body and panel work to consider. Getting rid of rust and old paint can be a real chore, especially if you do it the old hard manual way. Let's face it, it's dirty and not much fun. We've come down to see Graham from Extreme Blasting and Protective Coatings at Raymond Terrace to see what's what in the game of sandblasting. Now Graham, not all parts are treated the same, are they?
No, they're certainly not, Chris. For example, this sidecar here, it's got lots of filler in it, lots of old paint, and the only way to bring it back to pure steel, ready for painting, is to blast it.
Now, this is fairly old by the looks of it, and I'd imagine that the steel wouldn't be that thick. So do you have to be careful?
Yep,
you know?
Definitely low pressure, and you just got to know what you're doing.
Okay.
You know, I'm a sole trader, owner-operator, guarantee me work.
Okay. So what makes up the bulk of your work with cars, for example?
Definitely 60s, 70s cars. Just so many people restoring them, it's unreal. And when you're restoring things, you certainly got to start at A of a restoration, which is blasting. Yeah, you know, no, you're spending all that money and, you know, painting over filler and stuff. Take it back to raw steel and start at A. Yep.
I remember seeing it like a 1920s motorcycle frame here once.
Yep,
like,
absolutely. A lot of very early motorcycle stuff. Again, you know, starting from A, you know, blast the frame, blast everything back to pure steel and start from there.
Then you know what you got.
Absolutely. Okay. You only want to do it once.
Yep.
Okay, this is just one example of blasting. Now this sidecar, I've just done a part blast on it just for your show to show you. The filler in this is very thick, and it's all about removing it back to steel. It is a very slow process removing such thick filler. As you can see, it's more than 5 mil thick there. But again, in restoration, you want to start it pure, start the repairs all over again.
Now, would you use the same pressure for everything?
Certainly not. Like this is very thin and it's very low pressure. You know, if you're doing an engine bay of a car or a bike frame, that's full pressure. It's just horses of courses. Just got to look at the job and treat it accordingly.
Now, I've sort of been told that too much pressure can cause heat and
Absolutely,
then warp panels.
absolutely. Virtually, you can warp anything if you don't know what you're doing.
Okay.
So it all comes down to experience and doing the job right.
Okay. But you do alloy motorcycle parts as well, don't you?
Absolutely, Chris. Now I've got a pure cabinet just for doing aluminium. I use a glass powder, and it restores the aluminium back to original.
Right. It takes a lot of time? Or?
Yes, it does, but it's not over expensive either.
Now, if people don't live local, they can ship their stuff to you, can't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially cars. I get cars coming from all over New South Wales. Bike stuff, you can virtually post your bike stuff anywhere from Australia to me for blasting. That's never a problem.
I'd imagine, you know, in the old historic car game these days, I mean, you get some bodies that are worth a fair bit of money.
Yep.
So people want to take it to the best
To a specialist, absolutely. You know, like I said, I guarantee my work, and it's just what I do.
Extreme Blasting will look after small alloy parts from $20, heads from about $40 and frames from $80. Check out Extreme Blasting on their Facebook page or contact Graham on 0408 831 841.